You only have to build great soil one time. After that, it feeds itself, season after season. No fertilizer, no amendments, no repeat purchases. Most gardeners never discover this because they fix the symptoms: yellow leaves, poor yields, weak roots, instead of fixing the soil itself. This video is about fixing it permanently. I am going to walk you through the exact method, layer by layer, including the more aggressive version for beds that are genuinely broken, and the single mistake that undoes the whole system even when everything else is done right. Before we get into it, drop a comment and tell us where in the world you are watching from and what time it is right now. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and every single one of you helps get us there. Thank you. Here is what most gardeners do not realize about empty beds in fall and winter. They are not wasted time. They are your best opportunity of the year. When your beds go bare, the soil biology does not shut off. It slows, but it keeps working. The microbial life, the worm populations, the fungal networks running just below the surface. They are still consuming, still breaking material down, still building structure. The difference between gardeners who have rich, dark soil and gardeners who do not is simple. The first group gives that biology something to eat in the off-season. The second group leaves it bare. Empty beds in the cold months are a window. Feed them now, and they will have finished transforming by the time you are ready to plant. Miss this window, and you are buying fertility in a bag again next spring. Start by covering every inch of bare soil. Cover crop if you have it, or 4 to 6 inches of fresh green material if you do not. Grass clippings, chopped weeds, fresh green leaves. Lay it flat, edge to edge. Nothing exposed. If you are using a cover crop, the best options include nitrogen-fixing legumes, field peas, hairy vetch, or clover. These plants do not just fill the bed. They actively pull nitrogen out of the atmosphere and store it in their root systems. When those plants die and break down, that nitrogen does not disappear. It stays in the soil as a direct deposit into next season's fertility. Pair legumes with a fibrous crop like oats or winter rye. Their root systems spread wide and deep. When they die back, they leave behind a network of tiny hollow channels running through the soil. That is not just decomposing plant matter. That is future drainage, future aeration, future pathways for your crop's roots. Lay the whole cover crop flat. Step it down hard into a dense mat across the entire surface of the bed. Now, here is what that layer is actually doing below the surface, and why it keeps working for months after you walk away. The decomposition process underneath that layer is not just rot, it is construction. As organic material breaks down, it feeds the microbial populations in the soil. Those populations multiply, and as they grow, they produce a natural biological glue called glomalin that binds soil particles together. That binding is what creates the dark, crumbly texture you see in rich, healthy soil. It is also what creates the drainage. The aggregated particles hold space between them for water and air to move through. At the same time, as those fibrous root systems decompose, they leave behind hollow channels. Those channels allow oxygen to reach deep into the root zone. They prevent water from pooling at the surface. And when your spring crops push their first fine root tips into the soil, they will not hit compaction. They will move straight through. Here is the part that makes this method faster than anything else: insulation. The leaf layer you add on top keeps the soil temperature high enough to prevent it from freezing solid. Most people do not know that. They assume decomposition stops in winter. It does not. It just needs the soil to stay unfrozen. A protected bed in winter decomposes at 2 to 3 times the rate of an exposed one. What would take 2 full seasons to build in bare soil happens in a single dormant period. That is the mechanism. That is why this works when fertilizer does not. If your soil is in reasonable shape, everything up to this point is enough. But if your beds are hard, thin, or compacted, if roots cannot penetrate more than a couple of inches before hitting resistance, you need a second layer. And you need to add one specific plant to your cover crop mix. Daikon radish. It looks unremarkable above ground. Below ground, it is a wrecking ball. A mature daikon taproot drives 8, 10, sometimes 12 inches straight down into the soil. It does not grow around compacted layers. It pushes through them, physically fracturing the structure as it expands. When those roots die and decompose over winter, they leave behind deep pockets, wide, hollow, organic matter-filled channels running deep into beds that nothing else could penetrate. Those channels become earthworm highways, water storage reservoirs, root nurseries for next season's crops. For the weakest beds, add daikon radish to your cover crop blend alongside the legumes. Let the radishes grow until the first killing frost, then terminate the whole crop and layer over the top exactly as you would in the standard method. The roots stay in the ground and keep working. You will not see it happening, but when you dig into that bed in spring and push your hand into the soil without resistance, you will feel exactly what 3 months of root decomposition looks like. Before you go any further, this needs to be said. There is one mistake that destroys everything you just built, and most gardeners make it without knowing: leaving the surface exposed after setup. You can put down the most carefully layered organic system in the world, and a single hard driving rain will compact it into a crust. Water stops penetrating. The biology gets buried without oxygen. The whole active system locks up within days. The second mistake is compacting the bed yourself. Walking across it after setup, pressing it down, resting heavy objects on it. Every footstep squeezes out the air pockets your cover crop roots spent weeks creating. The structure collapses before it can set. The third mistake is the one that feels like the right move. A black tarp in winter looks like smart gardening. Terminate the cover crop, seal it off, done. But leave that tarp down all winter and you block every drop of rain and snowmelt from reaching the surface. The soil dries out. The microbial population starves. You spent months building a living system and quietly killed it through the very cover that was supposed to protect it. That is not a slower result. That is a dead bed. Once your cover crop is flat and your green material is down, add the final layer. Dry leaves. 6 to 8 inches minimum, not a dusting, not a thin scatter. A real, dense blanket. This layer does 3 things simultaneously. It insulates the soil, keeping surface temperature warm enough for decomposition to continue through cold months. It retains moisture, preventing the organic material from drying out between rains. And it breaks down slowly from the top, adding a third wave of organic content as the cover crop and root systems break down from below. The soil biology is now fed from 2 directions at once, above and below, all winter. Before you walk away, anchor the leaf layer at the edges. Branches, stakes, or scrap timber along the perimeter. Early winter wind strips an unanchored bed in hours and undoes a full afternoon of work. Once the first rains and snow compress the leaves, they will hold themselves. Until then, pin them down. Then leave it alone. No checking, no adjusting. What happens under that leaf layer over the next 3 to 4 months is the reason this method changes everything. And you will see exactly what that looks like when spring arrives. When the ground softens and the last frost clears, peel back the leaf layer. What you find underneath is not what you buried. The material will have darkened and compressed. The smell will be different, earthy, deep, biological. And when you press your finger into the soil beneath it, it will not resist. It breaks apart. It crumbles. The structure that took years to degrade has rebuilt in a single winter. In the daikon beds, push a trowel straight down. No force, no impact. The root channels run clear and open 8 inches down, and the soil between them is a completely different texture from what you started with. You do not add anything before planting. The nitrogen is already deposited. The microbial populations are already active and fed. The drainage is already improved. You just plant. And every season after this one, the soil gets incrementally richer because the organic matter you added this winter is still cycling, still feeding, still rebuilding. You are not maintaining fertility anymore. You are running a system that generates it. If you cannot do all of this, do not let that stop you from doing some of it. A single layer of dry leaves over bare soil will still suppress compaction and protect the surface biology. A basic cover crop without the daikon still fixes nitrogen and improves structure. Even one component applied before the ground freezes will leave your beds measurably better in spring than if you had left them bare. The full system is transformative. The partial system still works. The only version that fails is the one you do not start. Your soil is either building right now, or it is slowly degrading. Every week of bare, exposed soil in winter is a week of lost structure, lost moisture, and lost biology. This weekend, one bed. That is all it takes to start.